it is possibly the core experience, the most fundamental experience of, I think I could say, possibly every patient I have ever worked with. And there are many, many papers confirming this. Loneliness is an important cause for not feeling well, and then for trying to overcome this feeling in many, many different ways. Why is this all relevant? Why does loneliness deserve so much time that we should talk about it tonight? Theoretically speaking, it is very important, I think, never to lose from sight the idea that we are a fundamentally relational species. Without relationships with other people, we cannot survive. In a nutshell, again, human infants are born so helpless. They cannot survive on their own. They cannot take care of themselves. And it is necessary for the very powerful attachment system to exist between the infant and the parent, or the parents, for the individual human baby and the human beings as a species to survive. So you can find many illustrations for this. One rather famous that comes to my mind is the experiments of the American social behaviorist Harlow, who in the 1950s did experiments with wire and cloth mothers. You can very easily find those recordings on YouTube, which showed that when infant monkeys are choosing between comfort, warm cloth on the mother, or on the artificial mother, versus milk on the mother who provides nothing, again, artificial mother, I'm sorry, that provides nothing but milk, in the proportion 20:1, they're choosing comfort over food. Another very important thing is the discovery of a group of Italian researchers led by Vittorio Gallese about 15 years ago, of what they called mirror neurons. When you're just observing someone else's action, practice, emotions, facial expressions, your brain reacts as if you are experiencing or doing the same. So that, for instance, when you have two groups of people who have suffered from stroke, and one group is going through recovery process, physical therapy, rehabilitation, and so on, and the other group is going through the same process, and then on top watches videos of people doing the same exercises, the latter group improves faster. We have many different, or countless possibly, different empirical studies about the recovery, where we compare people, for instance, who live alone to people who live with someone, or people who are never visited in the hospital to people who have regular visits from family members or friends, or receive social support. The group that lives alone or is never visited recovers slower. Their health outcomes on the level of the body are never as good. When it comes to mental disorders, it is possibly the core experience, the most fundamental experience of, I think I could say, possibly every patient I have ever worked with. And there are many, many papers confirming this. Loneliness is an important cause for not feeling well, and then for trying to overcome this feeling in many, many different ways, through alcohol or gambling or excessive, so to say, uncontrolled, unsafe sexual behavior, focusing completely on your career and forgetting about the emotional life, and so on and so on. And then loneliness is extremely important as a consequence of mental disorders. When you don't know how to share your experience with other people, when you feel stigmatized, and around the globe, stigma against mental disorder is on the rise over the last 50 to 60 years. I personally assume because of television. So you don't know how to get in touch with other people. You don't know how to communicate what you feel. And there is a prejudice, and people feel like they wouldn't like to be in touch with you because you're dangerous. No matter how primitive, so many people still have the fantasy of mental disorders being contagious.